Hello YouTubers, Craig VK3VCM here. Set up portable today. I often set up portable, as you're probably aware if you've seen some of my other videos. And today I'm here in Maribyrnong in Melbourne at a rather nice park. And it's a beautiful day, about 25-26 degrees Celsius, and very nice indeed. So I thought, well, there's not much wind about. It's nice outside, it's not too hot, not too cold. So let's do a bit of portable HF today. To go portable, if you're interested in doing so, there are obviously some things which you'll need. It's best to sort of build yourself up a pack over time. I've sort of got myself a couple of these plastic type containers here, which are available very cheaply. I get them from the reject shop here in Australia, but in the US and places like that, you'll get them from Best Buy, you'll get them from Walmart, you'll get them very, very cheap. I've seen them when I've been in the States in places like that for maybe $4 or $5. This one's actually got wheels on it, which is good, so you can sort of move it around easily, and holds quite a bit of stuff, and has a lid that seals on top, and they also stack as well. So a lot of stuff goes in there. I pack things like my headset, my handheld radio, and a few other things in there. Okay, well, to go portable, first of all, obviously you'll need a radio. As you can see here, I've got myself a Kenwood TS590, which is a very nice radio. It's brand new. Obviously it's only been on the market for a month or two, and it's quite a good size for going portable. It is a heavy radio. It is very well built, but it's also very it's not like, a huge bass type radio. It is a medium sized radio, so that's a good size to take out and about. Next thing you'll need is a headset if you can. It can be very hard to hear out of the speaker of the radio, especially if there's people around you or a bit of wind noise or whatever. So this is obviously a good idea. Something like the Hale Pro Set 5, which I have here. As you'll see, it has cloth removable ear pads, which you can just take off and throw in the washing machine, because there are leatherette or leather ear pads underneath, but they tend to get a bit sweaty when it's a bit warm or when you wear them for a while. So very comfortable headset there. Something else which you'll need if you're going to use a headset is an adapter, obviously, for your radio. As you can see, I've got the red Hale adapter there. Red is for Kenwood, so I've got that there. And also you'll need a way of activating push to talk. Now you can do it, there's numerous ways you can do it. You can do that with an activator switch, whether it be a hand switch or a foot switch, or you can in fact do it with Vox if you prefer to do that. If you're in a park though, Vox can sometimes be a little bit hard, because if there's noise behind you, kids playing or whatever, it can activate it accidentally.
VK3 Victor Charlie Mike Portable, VK7F3T.
Yeah, VK7F3T, VK3VCM. Just got the video camera on now. I'm going to make a YouTube video just on operating portable and what my experiences on it. So if you don't mind, I might whack part of your QSO on it, if that's all right with you there, Scott. I'll ask you to let me know when I come back. But you might also want to see your own signal here in Melbourne anyway.
Yeah, Victor Kilo 3, Victor Charlie Mike Portable, Victor Kilo 7F3T. Very good. Craig, no problem with that at all, mate. You need to promote the hobby. It's a fantastic thing. And I reckon we've spoken before, actually, Craig, in Dairy May. I reckon it's been about maybe 4 months ago. Too easy, mate. Yeah, I did have it. So I just thought it was a bit short, but that's too easy. All right, mate. All the best for the year. The 7-3. Hope you had a good Christmas. Sounds like you have. Great stuff working portable like that. It kind of takes the hobby to that next little level, and you get that open air stuff in your lungs as well while you're out there, so that's a good thing. Cheers, mate. Catch you next time. VK3VCM Portable, Maribyrnong, 7-3, mate. VK7F3T. We're clear on your final, mate. Cheers.
Because in the park, Vox is not really the best option usually. I've got two options. First of all is a push-to-talk button, such as this, which is really just a momentary contact switch with a 6.5mm mono plug on the end, and when you push the button, it just shorts the two contacts together. Or same sort of thing, but this time a foot pedal. Just a foot pedal switch. which is very, very easy to make. The foot pedal is about $20 from an electronics store. Here in Australia, I got this from J-Car Electronics, but you can also get them online as well. Just have to make sure it's the type with a contact switch in it. This had push on or push off in there, so it was a switch I could select. So obviously I want this to activate when I press it, so that's what I've done. And here on the Kenwood connector down here, you've got a couple of different connections on the Hale connector. You've got the microphone connector, which is this one here. That's the microphone connector. You've got the headphone connector, which goes straight into the radio, and the push-to-talk connector as well. So very simple, and I just place this on the ground and put my foot on it, and it transmits. So nice and simple, about $20. And that switch in the box, the switch I think was about $3, and the box was about the same, and just a little bit of cable. Doesn't have to be high current or high voltage or anything like that, obviously, and a little connector on the end, and away you go. So very, very simple to activate, and a lot easier than using Vox in the park where there's wind noise and people around you making noise as well. And I quite like the idea of the foot switch. If you're going to go out portable with your radio, it's very important that you protect it, especially something like a Kenwood or a Yaesu, like an expensive radio, like the TS590. You're looking at about $2,500 Australian. So you do want to look after it. It's a nice portable radio. It's not huge, but it is a good idea to take it in something like this case here, which is like a Pelican case, or it's a cheaper version thereof. It has very, very sturdy locks here that you can see that actually snap locked. It has a control here to actually expel the air, purge the air from the case, and what that does is allow it to actually seal properly so water can't get in. And you'll notice here too, if I flip open the lid, there's actually cutaway foam rubber there, if I can get into the light properly, where you can actually cut out sections for the radio so it fits in nice and snugly, and the roof here of the case is foam rubber as well. Very, very sturdy. Once the radio's in there, it's extremely well protected, and yeah, definitely a good idea if you're going to take your expensive base radio out and about. This case here is about $130. Operating portable is a whole lot of fun. It's even more fun if you plan the day ahead. If you organise things ahead, you won't forget things. There won't be a last SSTV while portable. It's not impossible. Get yourself a netbook like this one here, which is about $400 Australian, a little bit less. Battery life is about 10 hours. 10 to 11 hours depending on how you use it. If you turn off things like Wi-Fi, etc., which you won't need in the park, you'll get longer battery life out of it, and Bluetooth, etc., you don't need those. As you can see, I've just taken a picture of myself. The camera I'm using now, a Canon high definition video camera, also takes snapshots. I took a picture of myself, and I've created this in SSTV, which is a free program, of course. This Signal Link Pro box actually connects directly into the back of the radio, into the accessory port, and also into the computer down here, into the USB. It gets its power from the USB, and that of course is also the data connection to the computer. So all I do is to send SSTV, I get onto the right frequency, which in this case is 14.230. It's a data mode, so I've actually selected data on the radio there, and or you can use upper sideband, and then it's simply a matter of just hitting the transmit button on the actual computer, which I'll do over here, and away we go. You'll see that there's a scan line going down the picture there. That is actually transmitting that picture. You'll see that the Signal Link USB as the PTT is on. That's a good thing about this box. It actually automatically controls the push to talk. The radio is transmitting. It's in red, and you can actually see on the meter there it's actually putting out RF power. Something to remember when you're using SSTV is make sure your radio is not on full output power. You will probably cook your final stage of your radio because it is 100% duty cycle. It's not like speech. If I go into my menu here, you'll see my power is on 90. This is a 100 watt radio. Give it a little bit of headroom like that, and you won't be in danger of cooking the output stage of your radio. It's almost finished sending now. If I go to my picture, in fact it has finished, just heard the radio come back there. Now if someone decides to send something back to me, the Signal Link USB will automatically pass that onto my computer and it will come up on my screen. So it's not impossible to do digital modes and SSTV while portable, especially now that netbooks are around. They're fast, they're portable, the batteries last a long time, and they definitely allow you to operate portable while doing digital modes. If you're thinking of doing HF in the park, especially with a tuned antenna like a buddy pole, you definitely need one of these, an antenna analyzer. They're about $300 or $400 and they are worth every cent. If you're not sure how to use an analyzer, I can show you in just a moment. Very simple to use, and they basically tell you very quickly, with no messing about, where your antenna is resonant, and you basically know if you're ready to go or not. They also help you very quickly set up an antenna like the Buddy Pole Deluxe, which I'll show you very shortly as well. So you can't go past one of these. That would be the most useful thing I have in my shack. This one here covers all of the HF bands up to 2 meters and goes up to 170 meg, so it does cover 2 meters as well. You can also get the next model up, which covers up to the 70 centimeter band in UHF as well. Definitely worth getting, not a waste of money, and you will use this all the time, trust me. Well worth investing in something like this. Alright, it's a little bit windy out here, hopefully it's not too bad, but here is my Buddy Pole Deluxe antenna. Obviously, if you're going to operate portable, you can't cart around a huge dipole antenna that's, 100 feet long. It's impractical, it's ridiculous. You do have to compromise with an antenna, and the Buddy Pole is a good compromise if it fits into your budget, and if you want a good antenna that will last you for years if you treat it properly, and works on all bands if you can take the time to tune it up. What we have here, first of all, we'll start at the bottom, is a nice big tripod. That is a big tripod, let me tell you. It may not look big, but it is. If I then work my way up the tripod, or up the mast I should say, this is 20 feet, this mast, or thereabouts, a little bit more. Up the top I have what's called a TRSB, which is a triple ratio switched balun, and what that does, it is a 1-to-1, a 4-to-1 and a 2-to-1 balun, and you basically switch it for the lowest SWR. I have it on 2-to-1 because that tends to work with the dipole. There's also tuning coils, which you can see here. They allow you to match the antenna or set it up for the bands that you're going to use it on. So I have this currently set up for 40. Very good antenna system. You'll notice here I have a guide. There's a guying kit that comes with it. You must do that. Even if it's not windy when you first put it up, guaranteed it will be when you least expect it. The thing will flip over and you'll break your antenna. These two extendable arms here are quite long. Again, they don't look it, but they are extendable whips, and there's one on either side. Very easy to tune, and I'll be going through that fairly shortly with you. Operating from the park is a lot of fun. Operating portable is a lot of fun. However, you'll also need some power, obviously, to run your radio. Now, if you're operating QRP, that's fine. Normally very easy. You just need a small sealed lead acid battery and that'll do the job. If you're running 100 watts like I am, you'll need something a little bit meatier than that. Behind this solar panel, I have a 120 amp hour sealed lead acid battery, which looks like a car battery, except it's non-spillable, which is very important. You don't want any acid burns, acid spills. You don't want any of that. This solar panel is a 200 watt solar panel, which keeps it topped up very nicely. Now, something very important to consider, you don't just go out and buy any old solar panel. You'll also need a charge controller. Now, the charge controller is a bit like a traffic policeman. It monitors the battery level. If the battery gets too low, it will direct current from the panels into the battery. If the battery is topped up nicely, it will actually direct some of the energy from the panels into the radio and save the battery. So very important to remember that a radio like the TS590 draws about 22 amps when it's running at 100 watts. So what you need to make sure of is that your charge controller can actually handle that sort of current. I have a 30 amp charge controller on the back of this. It's basically a small unit with an LCD screen. that you program and say, if the battery falls below this level, start charging. When it gets to this level, stop charging, and it basically just keeps the battery nicely topped up. Also good, of course, if you can operate from a shaded area such as this. While being out in the sun is very nice, especially in countries like here in Australia, you'll end up sunburnt in no time at all. And of course you've got to watch skin cancer and all the rest of it. So safety first, but something like this, which is a small fold-out solar panel, which folds up to half the size of that and even has a carry handle on the left-hand side there. Something like this will keep you running all day at 100 watts on a nice sunny day like this. As I mentioned before, the BuddyPole Deluxe is a great antenna system if you're looking at going portable and doing HF with amateur radio. It folds up into this tiny bag here, which is about 4 feet long, which isn't bad for an antenna that extends up to about 22 feet. And I imagine it's probably about 8 to 10 metres wide, depending on the band that you're operating on. What we're going to do next is have a look at actually tuning the antenna. Obviously, if there's no need for a tuner, if you've tuned up the antenna for the band you're operating on, then all your RF goes up into the antenna, and it doesn't all go into a tuner and is wasted. So remember that because the antenna is a compromise, you will hopefully try and get as much RF into the stick as you can and not into your tuner and waste it. Because when you're operating portable, every bit of power counts. Even when you're running 100 watts, that's power that you're draining out of your battery and taking out of your solar panels. So if you can get that into get that steam in the beam, as the old saying goes, it will turn out to be a much better signal on air, and of course your receiving will also be much better as well. The BuddyPole is now down on the ground, well, lowered. This is the triple ratio switched balun. I'll just zoom in a little bit on it so you can actually see it. You'll notice here it's got a three-way switch, a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and a 4-to-1. For a dipole like this, it's normally best to put it on 2-to-1. It seems to give the lowest SWR. It's good because it isolates the radio from, it tends to stop radiating from the coax, etc. So it works very well, and definitely worth buying if you do get yourself a BuddyPole antenna. So I'll zoom back from there. The antenna itself, let's have a bit of a look at it while it's here on the lower down on the ground. It's quite big, probably hard to tell. To adjust the antenna, you can do two things. You can either adjust the length of the whips. Those whips at the end do extend. There's the tripod there. But the best way to adjust it, I found, is just extend the whips fully and then do this. The BuddyPole coils actually are attached by these little hooks here that hook underneath the wire. And what happens is, if you can see on this side, it's a bit hard for me to actually operate the camera, but you can see here that it actually hooks in to the wire. It's got a little hook, and then when you get it to the right spot, you just tighten it up like there. These are a banana type connection that just hooks and connects you to the right part of the coil. These hooks are a great idea. They allow you to adjust the antenna very easily. All you do is slide the antenna hook along until the SWR is the lowest, and then you do the same with the other end of the antenna, and you're pretty much tuned up. So we'll have a look on the antenna analyzer where this antenna sits and where it's resonant. Hopefully it's around 40 meters. Let's have a look where we're up to here. If I turn this, you'll notice the SWR is lowest at about 7.12 megahertz, and it's 1-to-1. That's exactly what we want, right in the middle of the 40 meter band. Now remember, when you put the antenna up, the SWR will alter very slightly, but you do get used to this, and it's very easy to adjust. As you put the antenna up, the sweet point on the antenna, or the resonant sweet point, goes up as well. So it's very easy to do. When we put the antenna up, it may be a little bit higher than this, but that won't really matter because we can tune that out. It's only a small adjustment anyway. The antenna's just been put back up, and I've got it, as you can see. The guy wires are strings actually. They just go into the ground, like over here, and very easy to all roll up. And it all rolls up into that tiny little bag over there. The tripod, the antennas, everything, even the coax. It's a great package from BuddyPole. I don't work for BuddyPole. I don't get any money from BuddyPole, but BuddyPole antennas, buddypole.com, is definitely worth looking at if you're interested in operating HF. You can fit that whole antenna into a small bag like this and walk away with it. It's a fantastic system. You can also make verticals. You can make all sorts of antennas with that. It isn't just a dipole system. And also I've got 80 metre coils as well, so it can work on the lower bands. Very good system. It is, as I said, a compromise. That's the camera tripod. It is a compromise, but it's a great system if you do want to work portable. Something to remember when going off the buddy pole: you don't need these strings to be too tight. They're simply to stop the mast from falling over. They're not designed to hold the tower up. You're not holding up an AM broadcast tower. There is a base at the bottom of the tripod. There is a tripod base that does in fact hold it up. These just stop it from falling over. Don't forget to safety first. Make sure that you put the mast out in a position where people won't trip over the guying, or they won't also trip over the cable that leads back to your radio. Make sure you tie off the end of the cable as well, so if someone does trip over the cable, it doesn't pull your radio off the bench and you end up with a very expensive mess.
Yeah, 73s, and if I don't catch up with you before the new year, Happy New Year and happy DXing. Back to you, VK3VCM, portable VK1 mic Tango portable 2. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. It should be good to catch up again in a various different location. So yeah, no worries, Craig, and hope you have a good new year, and best wishes to yourself and the family. So yeah, I'll call it there, and thank you very much for the QSO. VK1 MAT going clear after your next over.
Yeah, roger there, Matt. No worries at all. And yeah, I'll fire you off a card as well. That's no problems at all. VK1 MAT portable 2, VK3 VCM portable 73s, Matt. And I might even talk to you tomorrow, because I'll certainly be out and about, I'd say. See you then, 73s.
Yeah, 73s, Craig.
One of the reasons you might want to work portable is the fact that you live in an apartment like myself. Now, what I do to make things a whole lot easier for myself is I got myself a platform trolley like this. That allows me to carry everything I need. My box of goodies, radio, battery fits on the front. Everything fits on this trolley in one go, so I can get into the lift or the elevator, go down in one go, and it saves multiple trips up and down. That can be a real pain, and also it saves your back from straining yourself, and it just makes life generally a whole lot easier. They're about $30 or $40 a platform trolley. The handle folds down, and it's certainly a very good investment if you're going to operate portable like I do, and you want to run full power, 100 watts while you're out in the park. If you're operating with a backpack and maybe 5 watts, then it's not so much of a big deal. But if you're going to run full power, you're going to need something like this to carry all your stuff. You won't drop it. You won't drop your battery or your radio, and you can carry everything all at once. It's a great idea. Another thing to consider when you're operating portable is make sure, if you can, that there's water available, or bring yourself some drinks, because you won't stay out very long, especially if it's a warm day, without something to drink. You'll also need, it goes without saying, that if you're going to spend the afternoon at the park, human needs need to be taken care of, including a toilet. It's nice to have a toilet nearby as well. I've got a web page which is VK3VCM.net, VK3VictorCharlieMike.net, and you'll see my little portable setup, and I'm also on QRZ as well. But yeah, also if you've got YouTube, if you go to Craig3008, that's where my videos will be. And yeah, I'm actually doing some filming at the moment of just some portable operation and stuff, so I'm going to make a YouTube video. So you might even be a star on YouTube there. VK7 FMTX VK3 VCM portable.
Yeah, sounds like yeah, I might be on YouTube. Very good. Oh well, yeah, I watched a few of those YouTube videos of radio equipment, guys working radio and whatnot. So yeah, it's always very informative, good for learning, you know, about different radios, antennas, how signals coming in from different places, whatnot. So you get a good idea of things.
Operating portable is a whole lot of fun. It's even more fun if you plan ahead, work out what you'll need before you go, and don't do it on the spur of the moment. Get yourself a pack, put it in that box like I showed you. You can then put it on your trolley and cart everything to your location all in one go. If you plan it the night before, you won't forget things. It's no good if you come out to the park and you forget your battery, or you forget your power cable for your radio, or the connector that allows you to fit the BNC plug from the buddy pole into the back of your PL259 connector. It's no good if that happens. You get all set up and then you only have to pack up and go home again. So planning ahead is the key. If you have any questions about portable HF amateur radio, please contact myself. I'm more than happy to help if I can. I'm no expert. I've just learned from looking at others on YouTube and trying to work out exactly what I need to go out and operate portable. Check out my webpage, VK3VCM.net, or of course check out the other of my YouTube videos here on Craig3008 on YouTube. And you can also check out, of course, lots of other portable operators. VK3YE, Peter, he's a portable operator from here in Melbourne and has some good videos on his page as well. 73s from now from Craig, VK3VCM.